Queen Victoria came to the throne in 1837. She would become known for the mourning dresses that she wore later in her reign, but the Victorian era was full of distinct styles. Today, we're at Hampton Court Palace and we're going to be looking at an 1840s day dress in the style that Queen Victoria may have worn. So Nadia, you've already got a few layers on already. You've got your shift on?
I do, yes. So this is basically my underwear. Now this shift is a cotton shift and it is the only layer which touches the skin, and so therefore it needs to be washed quite regularly.
And your stockings?
Stockings can be made from different materials such as wool, so if it was particularly cold then you might wear some woolen stockings, but if you were in a fine palace like we are today, or if you are Queen Victoria, then you would wear silk stockings, and they are held up in place by garters or ribbons.
Lovely, and you've already got your shoes on as well. Is that a trick of the trade?
Yes, it is. You want to put on your shoes really before you even put your corset on, because it's very difficult to kind of bend and move.
So I've just finished lacing you into your corset. How long would that usually take?
Around 20 or so minutes. And I can actually close the front myself, but I would need somebody to help me lace the back. But if you are Queen Victoria, of course, you have lots of help and lots of maids who will help you get into a corset like this.
So we have this image of women being very tightly laced into corsets, you know, somebody standing behind them saying, "Don't breathe," and them fainting all over the place. Are you saying that's not the case?
Yes, well, I think that comes from the period dramas perhaps, and some films, and maybe some women did do that, but really most Victorian women just didn't.
This is an 1830s corset, which is different from the S-bend corsets that people might recognise from later on.
Yes, exactly. I think Victoria, she reigned for such a long time, almost 64 years. And in that time, of course, fashion changes dramatically. And in that time, corsets change as well. The S-bend corset really comes right at the end of the Victorian period, and it's really Edwardian women who wear the S-bend corset. This corset is a bit of a hangover from the Regency period. So we've got some gauze here, so the triangle gauze on the hips and also on the bust as well.
So you've got most of your underlayers on already. We need a little something else to complete the silhouette, and then just like lots of historical periods before, you're going to wear petticoats. So here is your bum pad.
It's there again to create support, to support the petticoats and to give it that shape, like that.
And then over the top, we will have your petticoat. Can you tell us a little about this?
This petticoat is there to just kind of create shape, to give it that volume. As we go later and later into the Victorian times, we get the invention of the cage steel crinoline. But during this period, the kind of shape is created by layers and layers of petticoats.
And is this something you're able to do yourself?
Yes, this is something, again, Queen Victoria would have had maids to do it for her, but I can do this one myself. This petticoat is very light. But in, the depths of winter, you could wear a quilted petticoat as well, which is nice and warm.
So are you ready for your gown?
I am ready.
So this is a beautiful 1840s day dress made of moire silk, which is French for watered silk, and it's in one piece.
Yes, all in one piece. Some dresses do come with separate pieces, separate bodice, but this is all in one.
And so how long does the whole process of getting ready to put on a dress like this as young Victoria take?
Well, it can take quite a long time, and for the Queen there really is no rush. She has lots of people to help her get ready, but also for hair as well, that can take quite a while. So Victoria has several hairdressers who are kind of on hand at all times, but she favours the more kind of pared back look. So the hair is simple but still takes a while to do. Thank you.
You look incredible.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be wearing this dress?
Well, it feels incredibly royal. The corset definitely helps with the posture, and even though it's a day dress, so she could be wearing it to kind of wander around the grounds, or perhaps she's just at home in one of her palaces, it's still incredibly luxurious to wear, so I feel very important.
Well, you look very important. Now, is this an expensive silk?
It's incredibly expensive silk, and this is a sort of watered silk, so it kind of gives that kind of rippling effect as if it is kind of the light hitting water, so it's very beautiful.
It seems like the piping brings that out as well.
Yes, so there is black piping all over the dress, including on here on the bodice as well, which actually helps kind of give that illusion of a smaller waist. And that is, again, a kind of incredibly popular style, which continues actually throughout the Victorian period. You can also see the shoulders are slightly dropped. And again, that is kind of typical of this period. At the bottom, you might be able to see that there's a lovely kind of velvet ribbon all the way around. And although it looks very nice and very kind of fashionable, it's there for a more practical reason. It's because this dress is floor length, so of course it would have a lot of wear and tear over time. But having this velvet ribbon means that that takes up a lot of the wear and tear, so your actual hem is not getting damaged. And when it starts to look a bit ragged, you can just take it off and replace it with a new one.
Is it usual for the shift to be on show?
Yes, it is, and perhaps that might come as a bit of a shock to some people because Victoria is known for kind of being very kind of conservative. However, if you look at the whole dress, it is definitely very conservative. It's very long, the sleeves are very long as well. But with Victoria's looks, they are sort of pared back.
And while you mention your sleeves, would you mind holding your arm out? Because there's a lot of exaggeration at the lower end of the arm, which seems unusual.
Yes, they are. And this is very typical of the 1840s style. And with all kind of fashions in the Victorian era, sleeves do change as well. So they do become shorter, particularly in the 1850s. And again, it's to give the illusion of a smaller waist. So having big sleeves and big skirts really helps to kind of bring attention to the waist.
Great, so why don't we find you some accessories so you're ready to go outside?
Yes, please.
Let's get you a bonnet, a cape, and some jewellery. You look incredible.
Thank you.
And given that Queen Victoria came to the throne so young, she was still a teenager, it's just lovely to see what she would have looked like walking around her palaces.
Yeah, exactly, and this is how the Victorian era started.